That's right, everybody. Welcome to the BKBK podcast, where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme.
That's right.
I'm Brandon Phillips, and we also have Brian Taylor and Captain Kyle McKenna. Our boy Kerry Taylor couldn't make it today. We wish him all love and happiness and all that. Even though he should have been here, I'm going to get on his case.
Love and happiness.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Give him that Al Green. So, hey, listen, it's Super Bowl Sunday.
That's right.
Can you believe that?
I can, because we're not in it.
Well, that's true. But, hey, that does stink, and we're not in it.
Sure,
but,
sure.
You know, I will have one note. We officially launched
a
year ago.
We did.
On Super Bowl Sunday. So, hey, I wish we had, like, a
Happy birthday to BKBK.
Happy birthday to BKBK. I kind of wish we had pre-recorded a what you call it, like an audience clap. It does feel a lot longer than a year. It does. But that's because we've been putting in that work and putting out good content. So just want to give all of us. So yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? Audio issues, and all of a sudden we having issues with the audio on the anniversary and all that.
We got it back, though. You know, anyway, so listen, today's Super Bowl Sunday. So what we're going to have today is, you know, basically what I want to be able to do is we got to make our picks, all right? It's a Super Bowl pick, so we got to make our picks since it is Super Bowl Sunday. We need to talk about, you know, something positive since the Jets are not in the Super Bowl, but we should be used to that. It's been about, 50 years, so we're kind of used to that.
Is that it? Is that all?
So to keep the Jets relevant, we're going to be talking about, one of our favorite Jets was elected into the Hall of Fame. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then also, Captain Kyle McKenna has a segment called Kyle Was Right. So so we're going to have that going. Yeah, right?
That's right.
And then after that, you know, we're going to do a little, actually before that, I think we should talk about the biggest news in New York.
Absolutely.
The biggest news in New York, and it's not Jets. Can you believe it? Actually, we're New York fans. So the biggest news in the New York sporting world is talking about Kristaps Porzingis being traded from the Knicks to the Dallas Mavericks.
The unit gone, right?
The unit
gone.
Yes.
Yes.
The Euro gone. So let's talk about it now. Let's get into it.
All right. So, I mean, I'll start it off,
Go
man.
ahead.
So, listen, man, you know, there was a lot of – listen, it happened quick. I was literally watching it or listening to a Michael K show. I was listening to it. They were talking about Porzingis.
Michael K is on the radio today. I hate that song, but I kind of like it, too.
I like the show, though, man. So,
Yeah.
obviously, shout out to them.
Yeah.
They do a great job out there. But, you know, I was listening to the show. I was in my car. They were talking about how Porzingis wasn't happy. They had a meeting with him, at least Jets, Knicks brass had a meeting with him, and he wasn't happy. And then, literally, I get a text from my man B talking about Porzingis was traded. I was like, no way. You got to be kidding me.
He broke the news.
No way was he traded, man. No way was he traded. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there. I didn't believe him at first. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? So then I check online, and sure enough, he was traded. So I looked at it. I said, listen, first of all, it sounded like after a couple of days now that the kid didn't want to be here. You know? I mean, you know, he was a unicorn. I mean, he was somebody that the Jets drafted. I keep saying the Jets because that's what we talk about here, right?
That's true.
That the Knicks drafted. They wanted to build around him, bring in some free agents like, you know, Kevin Durant or the like. And unfortunately, it sounds like the kid didn't want to be here with him as well as his manager, which is his brother. So that's kind of tough. So I say three things. Who wins the trade? You know, I liked what the Knicks got back, personally.
Talk about it.
We got a young player back. There's three things you want to get out of a trade, right? Young players. We got Dennis Smith Jr., who we should have drafted last year.
That's what we wanted last year, exactly. So there's a lot of talk.
Well, that's what we wanted, not necessarily who drafted. Now, I put that on Dolan and the Knicks.
Right.
You know, if you're going to, leave Jackson in there to draft somebody and then fire him like the day after, that makes absolutely no sense. You let him go, right? You let him go. So So that's the first thing. Draft picks. That's what you want as well during the draft. We got one unprotected in 2021. We got one that's protected for the top 10 in 2023. When you look at 2020, the one that's in 2021, that's important because Porzingis doesn't look like he's going to sign long-term for Dallas, at least right now.
Right.
So he plays for them in 2020. If he leaves in 2021, then we get a draft pick that might be, again, in the lottery during that period of time it's unprotected.
Right.
Still got 2023. Okay, fine. Then you want cap space.
Yeah.
Right?
What do we have, like 73 or 74 million?
Like 74 million,
which
something
allows
crazy.
us to do 2 Supermax deals, right?
Right.
I think it's 2 Supermax deals as a result.
We had Courtney Lee, and then we had Hardaway Jr. as well on the books. We got rid of that as well. So now you have an opportunity to have.
Let's be straight, though. We would have done a Supermax deal with Porzingis had he stayed. So I don't really like that narrative. We would have had – it would have been 2 either way, and it would have been Porzingis taking one of them. Am I off on that?
Right. Yes. So Porzingis potentially could have gotten that. But also, we are going to be signing 2 Supermax deals with guys that don't have ACL problems or questions. So that's another thing that we'd have to kind of put into the conversation.
And potentially guys that wanted to be here. I mean, if the guy walks in and he says he's not going to sign, I mean, do you sign Kyrie Irving if he says he doesn't want to sign? I mean, do you sign Kevin Durant if he says, I don't want to sign? I mean, that's basically what Porzingis said. If he's going to be one of the 2 free agents that, well, not free agents because we would have had him under control, but somebody that you're going to bring into your organization, but he says, I don't want to be here, then you can't put him as part of the money or consider him as part of your team because he doesn't want to be here.
I totally agree with you on that. I think that it's once that was established, and I haven't heard anybody dispute it, once Scott Perry came out and said that they traded Porzingis because he straight up said, I'm not signing him, then it's a whole nother story. But up to that point, our thought was we would have 2 max deals. One would be Porzingis, one would be the person that we matched up with Porzingis. And now, yeah, we're going to be able to sign 2 max deals, but that's 2 max deals because one of our key pieces is no longer there. So I'm just that's the only thing that I've kind of gotten lost in the narrative. Like, yeah, it was going to be 2 either way. It's just a matter of who the 2 was.
I agree. It was about who the 2 were going to be. You still have the question mark because I don't think Porzingis is going to play the rest of the 2018/19 season because of his ACL.
Right.
So that is a
They already ruled him out for the rest of the year. I
There
saw
you
that
go.
last night.
There you go. So that means if they ruled him out, you know what that means? That means there's still a question mark. He's a 7'3" guy. It's way different than me being 6'1", blowing out my ACL than some guy that's like,
You're 6'1", B?
yeah, I'm 6'1". All of that too.
Just because it says that on your license doesn't mean it's true. I've had 6'1" on my license since high school. That was a straight up lie.
Well, Kyle, I'm taller than you, so
Mine says I have green eyes.
Yeah. You the green-eyed bandit, baby?
That's right.
He over there.
Can't stand it.
Yeah, he thinks he's EPMD, this guy over here.
That's right. That's right.
Eric making dollars.
But listen, man, I think there's a couple of things that kind of go into all of that. And, listen, if Porzingis wanted to be here, the dude would be here. I have no doubt in my mind that they would have kept the guy if he said, all right, listen, I see where you guys are going. Now,
let's examine this, though. I'm sorry to step on you, B, but, why would he not want to be here in the New York market?
I was going into it, right?
I have an answer for you, but go ahead.
All right, so my first thing is this. The Knicks are very culpable in how he feels right now. All the losing over all the years, you treated Carmelo Anthony the way you treated him, right? He's a star. Porzingis is watching all of that. And I understand there were certain things around that.
Stoudemire?
How did we treat
Stoudemire?
I mean, he was here
How did we
with
treat
Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony? We gave him more money than he probably deserved for a longer amount of time than he probably deserved, and he's been thrown on the trash heap by 3 teams since we traded him when he asked for it. I don't think we treated Carmelo Anthony badly at all.
What?
I disagree completely with that.
I think it's the way Jackson treated him in the media. How do you talk about the guy? You signed him. You signed him, right? So you own that. You didn't have to sign that guy, but you did. You re-signed him
for a max contract, and then you took every opportunity to talk about him in the media. Like, why do you do that? To me, it doesn't make any sense. So that's what I mean by treatment. Did he get to the end of the line?
I can see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
I can see what,
did he get to the end of the line? Go ahead.
Phil Jackson tried his like voodoo Jedi mind trick stuff with
he does
Carmelo
too much
Anthony,
yoga, that's why.
and it didn't have the same result that it did with
He's too much yoga too.
He does.
But go ahead, Kyle.
he didn't have the same the same effect that he did with Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan.
Right.
It didn't work that way because Carmelo Anthony always knew he was going to get paid. Never really like stepped up to a point where he led a team as like their most like focal point to a promised land place. Like, I don't have a problem with Carmelo Anthony, but Carmelo Anthony is a complimentary player. At best, he was a complimentary player. He wasn't that guy.
Well, I think,
and that's why LeBron James is going to play another 7 years, and Carmelo Anthony is going to be courtside.
Well, damn, man, it's tough to really. Go ahead, B.
Here's my thing. I think there is a running trend because I like the way that the Knicks are built right now as far as their front office and their coach. I like Steve Mills. I like Fizdale, and I think Fizdale can create a good culture in the locker room, and he is a good coach and manager of people in games and stuff. The common denominator is James Dolan, and I think he has created an overall environment within the Knicks organization where no matter who you bring in to manage the team, the franchise, the GM, the coach, and this and that, he is not putting them in a position to succeed. And I think it's the Dolan factor. And I think that's why, like, who doesn't want to come to New York City and, like, take advantage of this market? It's like, oh, yeah, I don't want to fall in love, so I don't want to go to Paris. No, Paris is the city of love. You know what I mean? Like, you go there, like, you want to fall in love. You bring your girl with you, you're going to fall deeper in love. I mean,
it was very nice. I went there a couple years ago. I kind of re-fell in love, too. That was
you did, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
Man,
hold on.
Nice. It was nice.
That's looking for a kid that re-fell in love. Check him out.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I love it. You know what I mean?
You're talking about Tony Parker?
I had crepes.
I had crepes
for the first time. I was like, yo, man.
Crepes wasn't bad.
Why am I not eating this in the U.S., son?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like,
that ham and egg crepe is like a bacon, egg, and cheese.
I'm strawberry banana.
Strawberry banana.
And the Nutella. Can't forget the Nutella.
I'm more like the ham.
I gotta throw the Nutella in there, son.
I'm the ham and egger guy on the crepe
with the little whipped cream on top too, man. I'm dessert. You're breakfast. You get breakfast crepe, man.
I like the I know.
No, but seriously, we got to separate the savory crepe from the sweet crepe.
Yeah, you do. It's two different entities. Yeah,
you're talking about apples and oranges. As they say.
I didn't mean to take us down this direction.
Listen,
but let's get us back on track.
I'll do a croque monsieur on you quick, or even a croque madame.
I don't even know what that is. Sounds like a curse word. You cursing at me, bro? Cursing at me, bro?
Get a little Perrier on the side.
A little Perrier, right? You know what I'm saying?
Huh?
Yeah.
So, but listen, the Dolan. Okay, I get that, the Dolan piece, but understand, Dolan wants to spend money. So he brought in Phil Jackson because he thought that could be an answer for it.
But he handcuffed Phil. That's what I'm saying.
How did he handcuff him?
How did he handcuff him? I just feel like he doesn't put forth a good environment for people to thrive. Like, he's bringing in all these people and they're still failing.
He brought in this triangle. I don't even know what
he wasn't just the coach
triangle,
though. He was
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
He was an
was old. So what couldn't Phil do? I mean, maybe Phil had to re-sign Carmelo, and we'll never know that, right? Maybe that's one of the things that if that was a handcuff, sure, okay, fine. Then that makes all the sense of the world as far as the friction that became of that, where he was talking about him in the media and all these other things. I get that if that was the case, but I don't know that right now. All I know is if that's the case and he's telling you what to do, then you don't need to have the job.
Listen, I'm not saying that Phil was like an automatic, He
was trash.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
He was trash.
He wasn't good. But when I'm saying, like, that means we can say that about all of the GMs and coaches ever since, like, the time of, like, Jeff Van Gundy, because Dolan hasn't given these guys put these guys in a situation where they can succeed. And all I keep hearing is how bad of an owner he is. You know, like,
He's definitely
honestly,
the problem.
he's the problem. It's like
He's
we weren't winning under Leon Hess, nice guy and everything. I like, getting your trucks and stuff, and those cute little Christmas commercials. But, I mean, Leon Hess was not a good owner.
Understandable, but I mean, I'm trying to put my finger on why in particular. Like, I can't say Dolan did X, Y, and Z. That's why I feel like he's a bad owner at this point. I can point to the Mets and say they don't want to spend money. They ended up falling into the trap or whatever else and losing money in the whole scheme and all of that. I can point to that direction. For him, he spends money, right? I mean, that's one of the things that you want. 9 out of 10, it seems like he lets them make those decisions. The only decision he didn't let Phil make was to trade Porzingis. That's when he was out of here. Right? At that point. And at that point, you couldn't disagree with him.
Right.
You couldn't disagree with the fact that you're not going to trade Porzingis. No way. That's not happening. And then he turns around and drafts Ntilikina, which, by all intents and purposes, right. I mean, that's a failed draft pick. Because now we have Dennis Smith Jr., who was drafted immediately after Ntilikina, and now we're trying to right that wrong by getting Smith Jr. When we could have drafted him and not had to trade for the guy.
And if you remember correctly, Dennis Smith Jr. wanted to be a Knick.
He did, but then he
said he wanted to be a Knick in the first place. So going back to what Brian was saying about you want guys that are going to sign and want to be here, that's the guy that wants to be here. Frank Ntilikina, I don't know what his future is going to be for the rest of the career that he's going to have, unless he gets more of an offensive game, more of a shooting touch. He's gonna, he's like Rajon Rondo without all the assists. I watched Rondo play yesterday for the Lakers, and every time he put up a shot, I knew it wasn't going to go in. It was like I was almost betting against myself. Because he's just not a good shooter. But he does so many other things great, and he can defend. He's a great defender and assist, but I don't think Ntilikina has it. But Dennis Smith Jr., if we really think about it, the only player they got in this deal is Dennis Smith Jr. The other two are contracts that are going to
expiring contracts.
That are going to expire. The draft picks.
So then, Kyle, so not to get off track and just to kind of and you're going in that direction, just to refocus us a bit.
Yeah.
Since this is the player that we got that we wanted, that who wanted to be a Knick, et cetera, is this a good deal or not? And then pourquoi, since we want to talk about this whole France thing again.
It's not a good deal or a bad deal. It's the only deal. All right. Well, let me put it this way. It's the only thing you could do is to trade him. If he's not signing, you have to trade him. Because otherwise it's just a lame duck. He's not going to play for the rest of this year, and next year is going to be his bounce back year. So he's not even going to really play that good, I think, the year after. So you're looking at 3 years before he's back to where he was. 2021 season, maybe. After a few days of sitting with this, I'm getting a little bit less upset about it. But I think that we got a good point guard. We got assets. We have cap space. And we have to start to evaluate the roster of who is going to stay within the roster that we have right now, that the Knicks have right now. Like guys like Vonleh, watching the guy Allen play the other night, Kadeem Allen. He's game. He's not a bad player. Moutier, is Moutier is he going to be our guy of the future with Dennis Smith? That's a pretty formidable combination potentially. How do you guys feel as far as Trey Burke versus Moutier? We also got Trier, who's going to be there for a while. Trier's a great player, great young player. Mitchell Robinson, but did you like Trey Burke enough to keep him?
Well, I liked him enough for now, but I think, I wasn't mad that he was gone at this point.
Moutier is kind of having a career year.
He is. he's having a career year. I mean, you can't argue with where he is versus Trey Burke at this point. Although I think Trey Burke needs some more minutes. I think Ntilikina messes things up because you feel like he needs to get minutes because he's a young player and he's in his second year. So then that starts to split the difference, and then Trey Burke ends up on the bench. But that's Ntilikina's not showing me enough. He's not showing me that he can score. He's not showing me that he can be an effective passer like Rondo. I mean, that's like, it's disrespectful to Rondo to even say that Ntilikina's even in the same sentence, because he goes out there and Rondo, 12 assists, and you feel like he's not even breaking a sweat. I don't feel like
no disrespect to Rondo. I'm just saying that's his ceiling.
Ceiling. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So then,
ceiling.
So then,
that's not who he is right now. That's who he has. I don't think he'll ever be a good shooter.
Not at all.
So then, is DDA serviceable?
DDA is always serviceable. Absolutely.
I meant to say Moutier.
Moutier. All right. Moutier.
DDA was good on the extra points.
He was. Yeah. It was a good.
Never got one blocked.
No.
Never went down.
And then
never went down.
Number
And you got-
89D.
And you got a qualifying offer for Moutier, right? So, you got one more year on him, 19 to 20, if you want to keep the kid around, versus, I think Trey Burke, you'd have to re-sign him to a longer deal if you wanted to keep him after this year. So I think it kind of turns into that, too. So, there's kind of that. But nobody has mentioned Zion Williamson.
Well,
right?
It's a lottery, so we're not guaranteed.
We're not guaranteed.
But man, oh man.
Dude, my father was watching him yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably the first game he's ever watched of Duke this year was Zion Williamson, period.
Because it was the St. John's game?
St. John's game. No, we were just sitting here. We were doing other stuff, whatever else. So Pops was in the house, and I was like, and I turned the game on. I'm like, yo, let's watch it. He left uberly impressed with the kid.
Yeah.
He was like, this guy is all over the place.
He is.
He's bouncing all over. He's blocking shots. He's stealing the ball.
And he's 6'8", 280 pounds.
Yeah.
Better than Barkley.
He's a thick dude.
He's a thick dude, and can hop out of the gym. And he's got a little J on him too. His jump shot is all right. And people, just because he's dunking all over the place, people think that he doesn't have a jump shot. Like, they think that that's all he's got. And
Yeah.
it's like,
I hear that all the time. I was in a text message chain with Anthony, the guy that came in, Chicago Bears fan. He's like, all
What's
he
up,
is
Anthony?
Yeah. Shout out to him, man. All he is a dunker. And then me and my man Terry, again, part of the same text chain, he's like, listen, you haven't watched any game. You couldn't have. And I was watching the game at the same time. I was like, he didn't dunk at all. He scored like 25 points. He's shooting like 70% for the year.
and he plays defense.
Yesterday's game, he blocked like 4 shots, had like 5 steals. It was phenomenal. So
This kid would change the entire culture of the New York Knicks.
my God, do we need that kid?
My goodness.
So I mean, can we dream for a second?
Yes, we
So you have
can.
Zion, you have KD, Kyrie.
Yeah.
What does that feel like in New York? Okay, what does that feel like, Kyle? What does that feel like, Brandon?
Yep.
Mitchell Robinson starting at center.
Right?
So that's all athletic.
Yep.
Lead a foot
Yep.
right there with Moutier we have Kyrie Evans, right?
Yeah.
Kyrie Evans.
Yep.
And then you have Moutier, you have Dennis Smith, you have this Cornet kid.
Got Knox still. Still
Yeah,
got Knox.
still. Yeah. Vonleh as a second group guy, if you even re-sign Vonleh.
Right.
I don't know what'll happen with that. But yeah, I mean it's getting a lot better. We need 2 superstars. We need 2 guys that are gonna put the butts in the seats kind of thing. But that's the thing. That's the problem with the Knicks is that the Knicks are gonna sell out no matter how bad the product is.
Right.
And that's why
Yep.
James Dolan is a problem too. They're always gonna sell out. But I don't know. I'd like to see how these guys play a little bit. I hope that Porzingis isn't Greg Oden, where like this knee's gonna be a problem forever. I hope the best for the kid.
Yeah, I don't want to see the kid be
Um,
that,
yeah.
Not at all. I don't want to see him be that. I mean, I wish him well. Good riddance, though, because I feel like you're a pain in the you-know-what. And I feel like we were trying to build something. What did you expect out of this year? They tried to win, had the veterans starting. The veterans and the young guys couldn't put it together, a winning product.
So then you have to strip it down, because the worst thing you could be is average and not make the playoffs. And then you have a worse draft pick, not a good opportunity to actually further and improve your team. We can look at the Sixers and say that's the same thing.
I think that Porzingis is going to be fine, because there's a difference between, listen, an ACL tear is a devastating knee injury, but it doesn't categorize it as degenerative, and that's what Odom had. So he had a degenerative knee. I think he just needs to rehab it right. He is wise to take the rest of the year off just to really maximize his recovery and his rehab, and then come back and do his thing. So I wish the kid well, but I'm also glad that he's gone. And listen, we won't even be thinking about this guy if all the joy in my world is in Zion.
Is in Zion.
Beautiful, beautiful Zion. I mean, are you kidding me? Come on, you don't have to end the segment on that, baby. Come on.
Shout out to Lauryn Hill, baby.
Shout out to Lauryn Hill. But listen, we just thoroughly unpacked the whole New York Knicks situation.
That's right. Stripped it down.
Let's strip this next one down.
I'm ready for the next one.
Here's the next one.
I'm ready.
The next one is basically, we love the Jets, alrighty, and Jets, you need to watch our podcast so that you can love us even more. How about that?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, one of our own was selected to the National Football League Hall of Fame. One of my favorite Jets players of all time, Kevin Mawai, out of LSU. He's an LSU Tiger. I just read something that he played in the league for 16 years, right? And I think he has blocked for, I think it was like 8,000 or 9,000 yard rushers.
Wow. Wow.
Or at least 8 or 9 times. Of course, Curtis Martin made up the majority of it. And then I think you had Thomas Jones that ran for 1,000 with us as well while he was there, et cetera, et cetera. So he only played for 3 teams. He was drafted in the second round by the Seahawks, played 4 years there, then played with us for 8 seasons, and then ended his career, his last 4 years, with the Tennessee Titans. Or is it Nashville? I think it was Nashville. But, yeah, the guy was a great center, basically with us for almost half of a generation, and we get spoiled because right after Mawai, we ended up having Nick Mangold. So it's like, it feels like a long time since we have not had a Hall of Fame type of center blocking up the middle, calling the line plays for us.
Correct. And
Mawai really set that tone. And you know what? Before Mawai, Kyle McKenna, I think we had Sweeney in there. Who was a pretty good center. Remember Sweeney?
I think Sweeney is way before.
Way back, right?
Was he way
Mawai.
back? He might have been Ken O'Brien. He might be Ken O'Brien.
Yeah. You had Sweeney. I'm trying to think of who. Yeah, Joe Fields was the center with Richard Todd and Ken O'Brien, and then Sweeney, Jim Sweeney, and there was definitely somebody that was before Mawai that was decent.
I thought it was
center has never really been a big issue for us.
No, it hasn't. Now it is.
Left tackle has been in the past. When DeBrickashaw was there, it was good for a long time.
Yeah.
Jeff Criswell was the left tackle for a long time too.
And he played next to Dave Cadigan, who played the guard.
Dave Cadigan, yeah, from Iowa.
Yeah.
But Mawai is, besides being a phenomenal football player, is an awesome guy. I've had some interactions with him via Twitter and stuff like that, as far as just the coaching world, because he coaches at Arizona State now. And
he's with Herm?
Yeah, he's as down to earth as it gets. Yeah,
nice.
And he's just somebody who you root for, and when you see something like this happen, we love the fact that it's a Jet going into the Hall, but even better that it's a quality human being that that's always looking to help people out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So listen, I mean, I was looking back, said that he was a New York Jet from 98 to 2005. First year, we won the East, 12-4, lost to the Broncos, right?
Yeah, I remember
AFC
that.
Championship game, 23-10. Then also a couple years later, lost to the Raiders, 38-24, and wild card.
Never played well out in the West Coast.
And then
always bothers me.
He rounded it out in 2004, before the last year he was there. And then that's when we lost to the Steelers, 20-17. That was in overtime?
Yeah.
That was an OT?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I was at my brother's house watching the game, whatever else.
We've had heartbreakers.
2 OT games, so we beat the Chargers in overtime, and we lose.
Yeah.
Oh, we lose to the Steelers or whatever. But 4 times we made the playoffs out of the 8 years, I believe, that he played as a New York Jet. And like Kyle said, nothing but class. But also went out there and was fierce.
Yeah, man.
You know, he was the anchor to that offensive line. Obviously we recall other Jets that were on that offensive line, but when DeBrickashaw was there, was Mango and DeBrickashaw weren't there during those playoff runs?
No, they were drafted the same year.
After,
same year,
okay.
In the same round, same year.
So, I mean, listen, I don't remember another offensive lineman besides Mawai during this run. You know, and I know there were a couple. I think we got a guard from Arizona, and I forgot his name. It's kind of mistake.
Was it the Road Grader?
Was Dwayne White?
Dwayne White?
That's earlier.
That was another guy. Anyway, so again,
Damian Woody played with us for a little bit too.
Was he on that one? I think he was on that one.
I think he might have been.
He was on that one.
Damian Woody was on the '98 team. Kadeem, he played for the Giants. He actually signed a free agent deal with the Giants and played with them afterwards. But you remember like the big thing where they went out and they planted the flag? They beat the crap out of the Colts one year.
Yeah, that was part of that.
That was with Chad.
41-0.
Yeah, Chad orchestrated that. I remember that.
Oh, what was the guy's name that played for? He played for the Giants and the Jets. He was a Penn State offensive tackle. He was a right tackle.
I forget.
Oh, the name's escaping me right now. But that was like Bill Parcells' like big free agent signing in 98 offseason.
Yeah. Like
he went out and said, that's the guy I want to anchor this line, and I'm going to go get him. And like you said, that's a
so I had Jason Fabini at right tackle, Matt O'Dwyer at right guard, Todd Berger at left guard, and Jumbo Elliott.
Burger. Burger.
And then we had Jumbo Elliott at left tackle.
Yeah.
At left tackle. That was the 98 roster with Vinny
That
Testaverde.
Was the Monday Night Miracle.
Yeah.
Keith Byers at fullback.
You were there?
You were.
I stayed there for the entire game. My friend Ronnie that went to the games with me, Ronnie Stevenson, at halftime, he got so mad that he left. And I'm like, don't leave.
Right.
Don't leave.
Right. I watched it on TV.
Hey, Ronnie, smarten up, bro. What are you doing?
Ronnie's doing all right.
All right, good.
He's okay now. He recovered.
Took the car home, so he's all right.
He recovered. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, man. Listen, I'm just happy when we have one of our own, meaning a Jet, being named or inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now, do you think that has he already acknowledged that he's going to go in as a Jet?
I haven't heard anything, so I don't know. Have you, Kyle?
I've seen like little homage things from the Tennessee Titans. I think everybody's kind of vying for his love right now. See which hat he's going to pick up from the table.
Can't be the Titans. Get out of
here. It's got to be the Jets, and it's got to be Bill Parcells that announces him in there.
And Curtis Martin, maybe. Curtis Martin.
Curtis Martin might
another guy with the yellow jacket.
You know that? Yeah. Because here's the thing. He played 16, but half of that 16 was with us. He made most of his Pro Bowls with us, most of his All-Pros with us. So he split up his time 4 years first with the Seahawks, and then he ended his last 4 years with I believe it was Tennessee. So
this was a team, bro. Let me run down the team,
ahead,
though. You know what I mean? So you have Vinny, Curtis Martin, Keith Byers, Wayne Corbett.
Wayno, teammate, baby.
1,000 yards, 75 catches. Keyshawn Johnson, 83 catches, 1,100 yards. Kyle Brady was out there. Rick Lyle, Jason Ferguson, Ernie Logan, who I don't remember too much from. Anthony Pleasant.
He
came over. Mo Lewis obviously has 7 sacks there.
Love
Pepper
Mo.
Johnson was out there. Brian Cox was out there with 6 sacks.
Neck roll.
Neck roll. Aaron Glenn had 6 interceptions that year.
Yep.
Yeah, Otis Smith out there, Victor Green, and
number 45,
Jerome Henderson.
Jerome
It's
Henderson.
a roster right
Yeah,
there.
it is a roster.
Yeah.
It is a roster. And listen,
that was Parcells saying, you got to give me if I'm going to cook the stew, you got to give me the ingredients.
That's right.
And we would have won that game if Keith Byes didn't fumble, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, don't even get me.
We were winning at halftime,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Winning at half. Like,
I know.
yo, let's go. We go to the Super Bowl.
I thought we were in there like swimwear.
I hate this.
But anyway, listen. Let's end this on a good note. BKBK just want to personally congratulate and honor Kevin Mawai. Kevin Mawai, great job. Thank you for all the great memories. And as you can tell, just through the animated discussions that we were just having regarding you and your time with the Jets, you really did it for us. So thank you so much, and we're proud to have you going into the Hall of Fame as a Jet. So thank you so much.
That's right.
So as we move on and chit-chat some more, all righty, I'm going to cut camera right over here to my man, Captain Kyle McKenna. This segment right here is called Kyle Was Right.
I thought it was Kyle's fingers. That's what it is. Because he's going like this.
More like Riley fingers.
Welcome to the Kyle Was Right segment. This is where it has one topic and one topic only. And that topic is 6'2.5", I believe.
Do a drum roll in your head, folks.
6'2" and 1/8 inches, 225 pounds. Has an arm length of 33 1/4 inches.
Wow,
arm length size of 9 1/4 inches. Ran a 4.8 at the combine.
That's terrible.
Hey, everybody, I just cut to the biggest jerk on Team BKBK. He's the one right there.
What is he, the old guard?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Handle that.
This young man is your NFL MVP for the year.
That's big.
And he is one of 3 people that have thrown for 50 touchdowns in a season.
It's crazy.
And he threw for 5 in the last 2 full seasons that he's played, between his senior season at Texas Tech and his first full year starting this year, has thrown for over 10,000 yards.
Dag.
Wow.
All right. Now that's a career for some people.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we're talking about college going into pros, but I was so right about Pat Mahomes when we go back to 2016 and we start talking about the draft and
look at him smiling.
We could pick.
Look at him smiling, folks.
Yeah. Check him out.
I just have to say that Kyle was right on that one. And if we had done what Kyle had said, at the time, we would be we would have the MVP, the league MVP, playing quarterback for us. Now,
get this guy a job, man. Get this guy a front office job, please.
And bring us on too, Kyle, if you get this front office job.
That's
because honestly, I don't want to diminish what you're saying, because Brian was also right about Deshaun.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson,
which is the same year. And I was right about and not just me, but I was right about Baker Mayfield this year, because that's the guy that I really wanted.
Oh, that was me too.
This year,
but you had to throw yourself in there.
No, I did have to throw myself in there because I was really pushing this kid.
Wait, I thought it was Kyle was right, but you know what I mean.
That's why I don't want to diminish Kyle. But go ahead, Kyle.
But he was more right.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to give it to him. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to diminish him because he was definitely way more right.
Listen, if those guys were MVP, it would be the Brandon was right segment.
Funny.
Or the Brian was
That's
right.
why I don't even want this segment. I don't want it.
One MVP.
I hear you.
We're not splitting the award. We're not saying it goes to both of these people this year. There's only one.
It's all you.
And let me take it for a second. So and with Kyle, when he mentioned it to the BKBK podcast folks here, we were like, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotta be fair.
It's not like we knew who he was talking about.
Yeah.
It's not like we had watched any tape on Mahomes. He brought him out from nowhere, at least for our conversations purposes.
100%.
And was like,
correct.
yo, this guy Patrick Mahomes, man, I think he's going to be the truth. And we were like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they're projecting him to be like a second or third round pick. And then all of a sudden, obviously Andy Reid saw something. He knocked out the combine. And, before it was just like he could throw 100 yards. So that was it. But obviously he could do more than that.
Exactly.
And, listen, hats off to Kyle.
Hats off to Kyle.
Hats off, man.
Keep
Hats
talking,
off.
Kyle, because
Well,
I agree
I
100%.
I like I said before we started, when I suggested the Kyle was right segment on the pre-production meeting that we
Yes.
had on text message, it was tongue in cheek, but the reality of it is that this phenomenon that is Pat Mahomes is for real. He probably was benefited from getting a great situation.
Great situation, yeah.
And a great offense to play with. But he has a really stellar future in front of him. I don't know. I don't know if he would have had the same success had he come to our team. But I am happy with Jamal Adams and Sam Darnold. But I did love this guy, and I knew it was for a reason, and it's worked out pretty good for him. So, if I'm patting myself on the back, that's it.
It sounds like you are.
No,
sounds like you are.
No, you know what he should, because you know what? Even before, and our audience doesn't know this, we did like chemistry tests as far as shoots, and we shot like I think 3 or 4 of our episodes and never aired them just to kind of practice and get some practice runs. And even back then, Kyle was talking up this kid, Pat Mahomes.
He was.
Before I really knew who he was. And I was like, yeah, I know this kid, but I don't really know him.
Right.
I didn't really get to examine him yet. And Kyle had all the metrics and everything on this kid from well before, and he was just like, this is the kid that we need to get.
Right.
So I got to give it up to you, Kyle. I know it was tongue-in-cheek, but once you mentioned it in our little pre-prod text message, I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Got to give it where it's due, bro, because I don't know. I mean, Kyle, seriously, if you get a GM job, can I be like a scout or something, or you know?
Well, the real test is going to be if I was right about Frankie Louvu. Let's see how long Frankie Louvu sticks around.
Yeah.
That will be the next. If he busts out for like 10 sacks next year in the Greg Williams defense,
wow.
Going for the outside ACL or whatever it was that Greg Williams said to get himself suspended for a year.
Yeah.
Frankie Louvu might be the truth too. So the next segment could be the Frankie Louvu. Kyle was right, but we'll see.
We'll see next year. We'll see.
Crystal ball.
Yeah.
Enough of that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So listen, we spoke about a lot of things and a lot of great things. We needed to talk about the Knicks. That was a great convo.
Sure.
We got to pay homage to Kevin Mawai.
Yeah.
And we had to give Kyle that life of doing this segment because it was
because
worthy.
he suggested it.
He suggested it. That's true. Yeah. He suggestively suggested it.
There's also not a lot of Jets news right now. So
that's true. That's true.
Sure.
But you know what? Us being football fans in general, it is Super Bowl Sunday. We're doing the Super Bowl pre-show.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about this Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
All righty. So, listen, our hated enemy, New England Patriots.
Sure.
They're in it again.
Sure.
This is not the 9th time. This is just the 9th time for Tom Brady. The New England Patriots as an organization have been to 11. Today will be 11 Super Bowls. Okay? 11. All righty? Okay? So, and
I just threw up in my mouth
exactly.
A little bit.
And we as a team, meaning the Jets, New York Jets, we basically created 9 of those opportunities for them.
I can't even talk.
All right.
Come on, Mo Lewis. He was on that list. Mo Lewis, man. Come on, dude. Come on.
And then Belichick, 24 hours. I even did a segment on it for AOL. Mm-hmm. And I interviewed Wayne Corbett, and we spoke about it. And, he even admits to it, too. Like, yeah, he was there for a day and then left. And he was like, it just happened. I didn't know what to do. Just had to just keep playing football.
Right.
But we created this dynasty. But anyway, we'll see what happens. What do you guys have as far as how do you think this game will play out, and what are your predictions?
I mean, listen, I want the Rams to win, so let's start there. Clearly, I want
in the room that doesn't want the Rams to win. We're in the wrong
in a lot of rooms outside of like Connecticut North.
Right.
You know what I mean? The rest of the country wants the Rams to win, so I'm on that boat as well, right? So besides that, when you're looking at the last 2 Super Bowls, honestly, they were good games, right? So what I also want is to watch a good game.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be up until whatever time, whatever. The Atlanta game was phenomenal. They were down 28-3, come back. Just sensational. Yeah. And then when you watch the loss last year to Philly, that was a good game too.
Yes, it was.
To watch that, a lot of offense. You know what I mean? Defense could have shown up a little bit better, but whatever. So
yeah, there hasn't been a bad Super Bowl in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So now when you're looking at it, I'm like, how can you bet against Tom Brady, Belichick, and the Pats? So if I had money to put on the game right now, it would be New England. Right. And I think that
no, you have money to put on the game. You're just refusing to do so.
I don't live in Jersey, and I didn't drive there, so I can actually bet legally because that's what we do around here.
Right. Wink, wink.
Is bet legally.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think New England's going to end up pulling the game out. I said this before the season started. I was talking to a friend of mine as well. I said, you know what? I think the Rams are going to make it to the Super Bowl and lose. I think, they got close last year.
Yeah.
They're going to lose this year, and I think they win next year. I just don't think this year is the year for them yet. They have enough talent in order to be there. I just don't think they win this game.
Right. What's the score? You got a score in your head?
So I would say it's 24-21, New England.
Wow.
By a field goal.
Wow.
By a field goal.
Copy that.
Yep. There it is.
What say you, Captain?
I'm going to say a little higher, maybe a 30-24. I'm going to be hoping that it's the Rams on the top end of that, but it'll probably be the Patriots. I don't know. Oh, I'm seeing right now that they're having the commercial for the AAF on TV right now. By the way, that might be something that we want to talk about next time we get on. Is this Alliance of American Football that's going to start like the day after this is over?
Oh, really?
So, okay. Is this like a wannabe Vince McMahon league or something?
No. It's I think it's league sponsored. Actually.
Oh, okay.
But that's a topic for another discussion. But I think it's going to be probably the Patriots winning. I preface that by saying I have tremendous respect for the Patriots dynasty as far as what they've been able to do player personnel wise, scheme wise, and everything like that. I do think that they cheat. I think that they and let me preface that by saying they walk right up to the line now because they've already been caught before.
Sure.
And by walking right up to the line, the system that they have makes them ultimately prepared. So they're going to be as prepared as possibly can be. They still have the pieces in place, and while they still have the pieces in place, they'll probably win the game. Although Sean McVay is a smart guy, and the Rams have a lot of pieces as well. So I don't think it's
and they have a mean pass rush.
Possibility.
You're right. Yeah, they have a mean pass rush too. So
the Dominic Easley, one of the guys on the Rams defensive front that's not talked about so much because they have Sue and Aaron Donald. Dominic Easley is from Staten Island. Okay. Played at Curtis High School. So the Rams got a lot going for them, but I just don't think that they have, like you said, the experience to make this happen. So if I was wagering, that's what I'd do. I don't wager ever though. So
what's your score?
30-20, like 30-24.
30-24. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. This just bothers me. This whole thing. None of us have been alive for the Jets to even go to the Super Bowl or anything like that. Like I said before, we basically created this dynasty that we call the New England Patriots. I hate the Pats. I hate the Pats. And if you're a true Jets fan, you cannot even like them at all. So I hate them, but, I even wrote this down, because let me just read this for you guys. Yeah, because I hate the Pats, but I will never vote against them. The Rams will be, and then this is my prediction, the Rams will tie up a hard-fought game in the fourth quarter, but they will leave probably like a minute 23 left on the clock. Way too much for Tom Brady.
Way too much. He's going to drive down the field like he usually does. And, everyone's been saying, oh, this isn't the same Tom Brady. He struggled a little bit this year. All right, fine. Let's just say he does that and he stalls, but he's not going to stall back on his own 40.
he's going to stall on the Rams 25, of course, so that Gutkowski can kick the field goal, right? So that's what's going to happen, okay? And then, he kicks the field goal, forcing the Pats to kick a field goal, and the announcers and fans will once again talk about Brady and his diminishing skills at 41 years old and how we didn't lead them to a touchdown and had to settle for a field goal, blah, blah, blah. And then the Rams will get back on the field with maybe 41 seconds left, okay, to orchestrate a drive. They're going to tease you because they're going to make one completion, maybe to Woods.
Sounds like you've seen this before.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Like one completion to Woods, right? Right. And then they're going to make another completion to, who knows, maybe a back out of the backfield. He'll run out of bounds. And then they're going to attempt another pass to, Brandon Cooks over the middle. And then you're going to have somebody like Kyle Van Noy drop back in his Kyle McKenna hook to curl zone, and then pick off the ball.
Did you play this on Madden earlier today?
Yeah, like Massapequa, right?
Did you play this on Madden, bro?
Yeah, I vetted it on Madden.
You vetted it on Madden,
yeah.
Then that's what happened. Got you. Continue.
So just like in the Massapequa game, Kyle Van Noy drops back in his hook to curl and picks off the Jared Goff over the middle throw, attempting to complete a pass to Brandon Cooks.
Sure he does.
And then basically the Pats beat the Rams by a score of 24-21. So when you were like 24-21, I was like, this is the same
exactly
score that I
right.
have.
Yeah. I'm in your head.
Yeah,
I'm in your head.
Yeah. You're in my head. And the Pats are in my head, as you can tell, because I had to write this down. And then the announcers start singing Brady's praises now.
Yeah.
First they were talking about his diminishing skills, but now they're talking about how, he just stuck to it. He just kept on grinding. Da-da-da-da. He gets the job done again. He wins his 6th Super Bowl.
Do you hate Giselle's face after it all wins?
Nah, I don't hate her face.
All right, continue. So you do like one Brady?
I don't like any of the Bradys. I don't like him. Get out of here. I don't like her either.
He doesn't have his name. She never took his name.
Yeah, she never took his name. You know what I mean? No respect. So, this whole New England Patriots, this and that. I mean, we can't live. So I just they always keep the games, these Super Bowl games, so that you're at the edge of your seat, and then they burst your bubble time and time again by winning. And you're gonna see this guy, 6'4", 212 pounds, looking good, looks great in his clothes,
with a dimple in his chin.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Throws a great spiral. Rich.
$200 cookbook.
What? Yeah, put out his whole cookbook. You know what I mean? And I you know what?
I eat everything from my backyard.
Yeah.
I don't lift weights. I only use bands.
Yeah. So that's what's gonna happen, man. That's what's gonna happen. So Kyle Van Noy, I'm looking for you to end the game for the New England Patriots and seal the win. I just picked an obscure name. He seems like a guy that would drop back and pick it off.
Sure.
Who else would it be?
Chad Cascadden.
Chad Cascadden. I love that name.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel. Yeah. So, gee whiz. Anyway, yeah. Listen, I just want to watch a good game. I hope the Rams win.
Sure.
And you know what? I don't even like the Rams even this much.
Even a little bit. Yeah,
I don't even like them a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
I kind of wanted to see the Kansas City versus New Orleans. Yeah. I love Drew Brees.
Don't talk about the Saints right now. They're still suing.
They're still suing. Yeah, they are. So, anyway, I don't know, guys. Whatever. Let me just watch the game. Let me get a good watch. I hope the Patriots lose, but they're not. I can't vote against Tom Brady. He's just too special, and I got to admit it. And he's so anti-Jets, so whatever. Anyway, guys, so thanks for watching another episode of the BKBK podcast.
And another episode of the Patriots win the Super Bowl.
But yeah, exactly. We want to be able to keep bringing you the best and latest news and viewpoints of where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. So keep watching. You can find us on Facebook on our BKBK Podcast fan page, Twitter on @BKBK Podcast, Instagram @BKBK Podcast, as well as on YouTube. Just type in BKBK Podcast, hit the like and the subscribe button to show the love. And if you cannot watch us, you can just listen to us on iTunes and go to BKBK Podcast at Podomatic.com. That's it. And let's go Jets. Let's go Baldwin Bruins. And let's go Team BKBK.
That's right.
Woo!
I gotta cook some food.